This is video number 22 in the series. I've got some relatively tricky examples for you in store. We're going to start with a couple of syllable reading exercises as usual from Dandelot's book. The first two will be switching between treble and bass clef, and the second two will be in alto clef. Then we're going to move on to Danhauser to three examples, the first of which is in E minor, then we'll move on to one in D minor, and conclude with an example in bass clef in F major. But let's go ahead and take a look at that first syllable reading exercise. It's number 5 in Dandelot's book, switching between treble and bass clef. So you can see we're switching on every single syllable between treble and bass clef, but I want you, if you can, to still try to read in groups of 4 and put an accent on the first syllable of each group. So we won't take this at a really fast tempo. We'll take it about like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'll give you a count of 4 and we'll come in on the la. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. La, sol, fa, mi, re, la, si, do, re, mi, fa, si, la, sol, fa, re, la, mi, re, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, la, sol, mi, re, do, la, sol, la, fa, sol, mi, fa, re, mi, do, re, si, do, re, la, re, la, re, la, re, fa, la, do, re, fa, la, do, re. And let's go ahead and look at the very next example, number 6. And it looks like this. You can see we're kind of in a triplet notation in the beginning. First two systems were kind of evenly distributed between treble and bass clef, and then they start to kind of mix together in the last two systems. But I still want you to group them in threes, even in those last two systems. Try to read 3 syllables at a time, putting an accent on the first syllable of each group. We'll take this one a little bit faster than the last one, about like this. 1, 2, 3. All right, here we go. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Do, re, do, mi, fa, re, fa, sol, fa, mi, sol, la, sol, do, mi, fa, si, do, si, re, sol, la, sol, fa, re, do, sol, do, do, fa, la, re, fa, re, fa, si, mi, sol, do, fa, la, do, sol, do, mi, sol, mi, do, sol, fa, re, si, sol, fa, re, si, do, sol, la, sol, mi, fa, do, sol, si, sol, fa, re, do, sol, do. So hopefully that one wasn't too tricky. Let's go ahead and move on to alto clef. Number 11 looks like this. You can see that we're working with 5 different reference points in this one. We got the low C, which you can see in the second and third systems, and we got G, C, all the way up. Let's go ahead and use those reference points. Group the syllables how you want. I'd say in the beginning you'd be in groups of 3 pretty much, moving to groups of 2 in the second system. So let's go ahead and take this one at a tempo about like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll give you a count of 4 like that. All right, let's go ahead and do it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do, mi, do, sol, si, sol, mi, sol, do, la, do, sol, mi, sol, do, la, do, mi, do, la, sol, si, do, mi, sol, si, do, mi, sol, si, do, la, sol, si, do, la, mi, do, sol, mi, si, sol, do, la, sol, si, do, la, do. Okay, let's look at number 12. I see lots of ascending and descending thirds in this one, so our mnemonic syllable patterns should come in some use here. We'll take it about the same tempo. I'll give you a count of 4. Use those reference points. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do, mi, sol, do, mi, re, si, sol, fa, re, si, sol, do, mi, sol, si, la, do, mi, sol, fa, do, re, si, sol, do, mi, re, sol, mi, do, la, fa, si, sol, la, sol, mi, fa, do, la, re, la, mi, sol, la, do, sol, mi, re, si, la, mi, si, sol, do. All right, let's go ahead and move on to those Danhauser examples. The first one we're going to look at is, I assume, by the composer Johann Adolf Hasse, and it's number 117 in Danhauser's first book. So you can see we've got an indicated tempo of 72 in this one. I'm going to take it a hair slower at 60, and I'm not going to take any repeats as usual in these examples. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at this one to see if we can identify any modulations that occur. So you can see in the third system, we've got G major. So I'm going to go ahead and put a stop sign in there. And we'll go ahead and do a G major warm-up at that point. And in the fifth system, we'll go ahead and do an E minor warm-up. And you can see that we begin with a fermata and that we come in on the second beat. And this is true for the stop signs as well. So what we're going to do at these points is I'm actually going to give you a full measure. So it's going to be like 1, 2, rest, and then we come in, okay? So my recommendation at this point would be to go ahead and practice this example with just the syllables in rhythm. Also paying particular attention to the articulations that we have here. We've got plenty of slurs and we've got dynamics as well. So at this level of solfège, you are a performer, so try to integrate all of those elements into your performance. But like I said, my recommendation would be to first go through at 60 or maybe even slower and go ahead and just do the syllables in rhythm before singing this one with me, because when we're doing it at 60 beats per minute, we've got 240 syllables per minute for the eighth notes. All right, let's go ahead and do this one. We'll do a quick warm-up in E minor. Mi, sol, si, do, la, fa, re, mi. So the first notes, si, mi, sol, sol. Let's go ahead and do it. Like I said, give you a count of 2, we'll do the rest, and we come in on the second beat. Here we go. Ready, and. Si, mi, sol, sol, si, si, do, la, si, mi, fa, la, sol, sol, fa, si, mi, sol, sol, si, do, la, si, la, fa, mi. Stop. Sol, si, re, mi, do, la, fa, sol. Ready, and. Re, sol, si, re, mi, do, re, sol, fa, sol, la, do, si, la, la, fa, la, fa, re, do, si, sol, si, la, fa, re, do, si, mi, do, la, fa, sol, si, re, mi, re, do. Stop. Mi, sol, si, do, la, fa, re, mi. Ready, and. Do, la, fa, mi, re, fa, la, sol, mi, la, fa, si, sol, do, mi, re, si, mi, sol, sol, si, do, la, si, mi, re, mi, fa, la, sol, fa, si, mi, sol, sol, si, do, la, si, mi, do, la, sol, fa, mi. All right, let's go ahead and look at an example in D minor. Number 127 looks like this. You can see it's in D minor. Take a look at it for a second and see if you can identify any modulations that occur. You might have noticed that in the second system we have F major. So we're going to go ahead and put a stop sign in there. We'll do an F major warm-up at that point. And in the third system, go ahead and do a D minor warm-up at that second stop sign. So I'm going to make the same recommendation for this one. Go ahead and go through this one reading only the syllables to prepare yourself for singing it with me. You might even take it a hair slower. I'm going to take it at the indicated tempo of 84, but you can see at the end there with these eighth notes that it gets pretty fast, so I definitely recommend practicing those syllables first, and with the articulations and dynamics, of course. But other than that, let's go ahead and do a D minor warm-up. Re, fa, la, si, sol, mi, do, re. So the first note's la. All right, let's conduct a 2 pattern. I'll give you a full measure, and we come in on the la. Here we go. Ready, and. La, re, fa, re, do, re, mi, si, la, sol, la, si, la, sol, fa, mi. Stop. Fa, la, do, re, si, sol, mi, fa. Ready, and. do, re, si, do, fa, mi, re, do, si, la, si, sol, la, do, fa, mi, re, do, si, la, si, sol, fa. Stop. Re, fa, la, si, sol, mi, do, re. Ready, and la, si, la, re, fa, re, do, re, mi. Si, la, sol, si, la, re, do, re, si, la, sol, si, la, re, do, re, si, la, si, sol, fa, mi, re, do, re, fa, mi, re, do, mi, re, do, re, fa, mi, re, do, mi, re, re. Okay, let's go ahead and look at a bass clef example, this time in F major. And we've got a waltz here, so this is kind of a fun one. Relatively fast. I'm going to take it a hair slower at 132 eighths per minute. So 132 is about like this. Da, 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 da. Plenty of dynamics and articulations in this one as well. And see if you can identify any modulations in this one. You can see that he kind of touches on A minor in the third system and on C major in the fourth system. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight those points just so that we're aware of those points, but I'm not going to stop there because he's really just touching on it. I'd recommend the same thing as I recommended in these last two, to go ahead and practice the syllables for this one first before singing with me, and doing that with all the articulations and dynamics. So what I'm going to do for this one is go ahead and give you a 1, 2, and then we come in on the do, fa. So it'll be like 1, 2, do, fa, la, do. All right. So let's go ahead and do a quick F major warm-up. Fa, la, do, re, si, sol, mi, fa. All right. Here we go. 1, 2. Do, fa, la, do, fa, mi, fa, do. Re, do, sol, la, re, do, sol, mi, fa, re, do, fa, la, si, do, fa, mi, fa, do, re, do, sol, la, si, do, re, mi, si, do, la, re, do, sol, do, re, do, la, fa, la, si, la, sol, fa, la, fa, re, do, si, do, sol, re, do, si, do, la, re, do, si, re, mi, re, do, si, la, sol, fa. Do, fa, do, la, sol, fa. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, re, mi, fa, la, do, fa. All right, hopefully those didn't give you too much trouble. I recommend continuing to practice those, as well as the other examples in G and F major, as well as D and E minor. And that's going to do it for this video. Next time we'll look at a couple of examples in D major and B flat major, and continue our work with syllable reading as well in alto clef and switching between treble and bass. But until then, happy sight singing.